Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jason with Gone Gliding, and today we're going to learn how to set up a Wills Wing Falcon 4 195 hang glider. Step number one, get your hang glider. Now that you got your bag here, unzip it and start getting your control frame put together. To set up your control frame, you're going to need your base bar and your down tubes. You're going to make the connection between your down tubes and whatever kind of bracket system you have with your base bar, and you're going to put your wheels on if they're not already on the way they are for mine. The reason mine are always on like this is because I have brackets that permanently stay on the end of my base bar to connect to my light stream down tubes. So as you can see now, I've got the bag open, I've got my base bar there, and I'm ready to now connect it to my down tubes. You should have some sort of bags protecting the ends of your down tubes. I have two of these little bags on the light stream down tubes, but you may just have one big bag protecting your down tubes, and you should always keep that cover on them too when they're all packed up, because it's going to help protect your sail from getting poked by things like this little metal piece here and the wires scraping on it and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do to connect the base bar to the down tubes is I'm going to take this locking pin out. There we go. And then that way the down tube here is going to connect into the bracket, and the locking pin is going to go through all those holes to hold the base bar to the down tubes. I'm going to connect both the left and the right down tube to the base bar now. Now that the control frame is assembled, I like to connect the nose wires because it helps to get the glider back up without the control frame slipping under the glider. But I will be removing the nose wires while I connect my backhaul lines. All right, so now I've connected the nose wires to the frame up on the nose, and I'll show you what that looks like. So it's just connected right there while the glider's still in the bag, but the control frame is all connected. So at this point, you're gonna have your side wires that's going over there to make the connection on the crossbars on each side, so the left and right side. You're gonna have a wire that's gonna connect to the rear of the keel, and then you're gonna have your nose wires. So that's all your lower wire rigging connected to the control frame. So now I have to stand the glider up. So the next step of getting the glider up, we can just kind of hold on to the wires and literally just lift up the glider. All right, so we've got the glider set up now on the control frame, and you may have seen my battons fall out. Grab your battons out of the bag as well before you flip it over so you don't drop them like I did. Our next step is removing the glider bag from off of the glider. It's best to start at the wingtips or the back side of the glider and then tuck the bag into itself all the way up to the nose. Now, if there's wind where you're at, you should be positioned nose into the wind, and that'll also help you get the bag off correctly without it just flying off and losing it. So when you tuck the bag into itself like that, you're left with the nose area to where you can just zip it up, and now you've got the bag just kind of all self-contained, but you're gonna have your Velcro strips and other things that you're gonna wanna put in here, like the bags that protect your down tubes. So all that can go in this bag. At this point, you should have the straps around your glider. I have Velcro, you might have something different. And you'll also have your wingtip protectors on the ends of the wingtips. Leave those on, don't take those off yet. They're there to protect your wingtips. All right, let's take a look at the Velcro straps that I'm referring to. So you should have a strap like this around your glider. And then I've got some here right in the middle, sort of near the apex area. And then got them on the very ends. So what I'm gonna do now is remove the Velcros because we want to spread the glider open. Now that I've got all my Velcros removed, I'm gonna put them in the hang glider bag. All right, now I can spread the wings open because we're gonna get ready to place our battens in the batten pockets. Generally, you should also have a little protector on the top of your Kingpost. So that's what this is. So you gotta remove that as well. And again, tuck that into your hang glider bag. All right, in just a minute here, I'm gonna move the camera to the back of the hang glider because we're gonna be inserting the battens and the speed battens. But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the nose wires right now, because if I don't, it's gonna be extremely hard to pull on the haulback lines to tension the glider when I get to that step. All right, now we're here on the back side of the hang glider. I'm gonna raise up the Kingpost and then I'm gonna attach the Luff lines, but I'm not gonna pull the haulback line yet. We don't wanna tension the glider while we're putting all the battens in because that can damage your batten pockets. Raise the Kingpost. These are your Luff lines, you just wanna attach them up top. There we go. Go ahead and get your battens out. All right, now we have a mess of battens and we've got to organize those for the left side and the right side. Obviously, the longer ones are going to be more in the center and the shorter ones go out towards the wingtips. If you watched my sail-off inspection video, you saw my little technique for how I know that if it's a red tip or a green tip, which side it goes on. So the green tips are going to go on the right side of the glider, the red tips are going to go on the left side of the glider. And I'm just going to put them in their height order. All right, once you have them in a red pile and a green pile, now you can lay them out right near their batten pocket. You may notice that your battens are numbered 2 through 7. That's how they are for mine on the Wills Wing Falcon 4. That's because you have a nose batten in the center, which would be like batten number 8, or center batten, or just nose batten. Batten number 1 is permanently installed inside of the glider. It's the one on the wingtip that you're gonna pull through and set on that little notch on the leading edge. So it permanently stays in. You don't need to remove that unless you're truing the battens at your annual sell-off inspection. Now it doesn't matter if you start on the left side or the right side, but you're gonna start with the longer battens and then work your way out. I also wanted to show you the tips of the battens because these do work a little bit differently. There's different ways that manufacturers put these together. These ones, you can just pinch and they'll release and they'll come up, and you can hear when I push it down all the way, it'll click. So there was the little click, and then I just pinch it to open it back up. That is going to go in that little pocket right there, and that's how I'm gonna lock it down. So once the batten's all the way up in, this is not complete. You have to pinch that to lift it, and then you tuck that into the pocket. And it's gonna apply tension into the cell a little bit, and it's clicked in. So that's how these battens go in. And there's a little view of it there. All right, so that's normally about where I stop before I remove the wingtip bags and then tension the sail. So I've got battens 4, 5, 6, and 7 in their batten pockets on the left and right wing at this point. And what I usually do is I leave the tips out a little bit, and I'll come along and I'll clip in every single tip at the same time. So what I want to do now is tension the sail to open it up further, and then when it's lifted off the ground, I can remove those wingtip protector bags. All right, so this is where the haulback lines connect. Yours is probably very similar or exactly the same if you have the same glider I do. But this little nub right here is where you're gonna connect your haulback lines once you've pulled all the proper tension. And then this line, this is not your haulback line, this is the rear wire that connects to your Kingpost, okay? So if I had the nose wire connected right now, this would be very difficult to pull my haul back lines. All right, so you saw that snap in, and then I connect that upper Kingpost wire as well. Then we can wrap all these wires around the glider, around the keel of the glider, and then I like to cover them back up with that little case. So that's all set now. All right, you can now clearly see that the glider has been tensioned, so I can remove the wingtip bags. And just like everything else, these can now go in the main hang glider bag. That way we don't lose them. The wingtip bags are now secured in the hang glider bag. So now we'll just finish installing all the battens and make sure everything gets clipped in appropriately. Okay, now battens 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 on the left side and the right side of the glider are all in, and they're clipped up into those little pockets. However, batten number 2 on the left side and the right side, they are a little bit different. So they're gonna use these little strings to tension them in. So the first thing you're gonna do is pull the bottom part of that and connect it through your batten, and then you can pull the tension on the top part and connect it as well. So that's your result. So now batten number 2 here is in the proper position. Batten number 1 permanently stays in the wing. So here's the elastic tip on it, and you'll find it inside the wingtip, and it's gonna connect to a little notch on the leading edge. So just by the rope up there, you should see that little notch. That's what we want to connect the other end of the batten into. And that is what it looks like when it's connected into the notch. So now we just have to finish it off by pulling the top part of the elastic strap tight so that it's going to connect on the back of the batten as well, just like the other string connecting batten. And there we go. So that's batten number 1. And then of course do that on the other side as well. So I went ahead and finished batten number 1 and batten number 2 on the opposite wing. All right, now we want to connect our washout tubes. So your washout tube should be hanging off your leading edge like mine is, and it's just gonna pop into that hole. So I've got one end that's hollowed out and another end that has a stopper on it. So this hollowed out end is gonna pop into that hole, just like that. And you wanna make sure you'll hear a sound that you'll become quite familiar with when you pop your washout tube into the hole. All right, now just like everything with aircraft, whatever we do on the left side, we're doing on the right side, especially with these setup procedures. So I've got my washout tube, the hollow end is gonna go in the hole. There we go. And it's not in until it makes that really nice firm sound. All right, as you can see, it's coming together quite nice. It's almost ready. However, if you have speed battens like I do on my glider, they'll be here in a pocket, hopefully, in a pocket like this, similar pocket, with the rest of your battens in your batten bag. So it's just got a little Velcro top, and voila, here are my speed battens. So there's 6 total, 3 on each side. I'm also gonna put my batten bag in my hang glider bag with everything else. All right, let's go see how we put these in. All right, so I said there's 3 speed battens on each side, and what they do is they help minimize flutter as your hang glider gets older and older and your sail stretches and things like that. But you see this extra little pocket right here, and right here. So this is the right wing. I've got the same thing on the left wing, and we want to put these little speed battens into those pockets. Okay, the way this is designed is it actually has a little bit of elastic in here. So when you start to put the speed batten in, you'll feel it kind of pushing back against you, like almost like you're tucking it into a slingshot ready to launch it off. And so once you get it into that little springy elastic piece, it's going to apply pressure towards the back part of the wing or the aft part of the wing. And just like the other battens have those little clips that tuck into a pocket, so do these. So that's what will prevent them from shooting out, is you got to make sure you tuck it into that pocket. And I'll be honest with you, it's not the easiest thing to do in the winter when your hands are really cold. All right, I'm hoping you guys can see this pretty well, but we tuck into that pocket, we find that elastic part where it wants to start pushing back on us like that. And then we just push it up and tuck it into the wing there. So that's how that works. All right, we're almost done and ready to fly, but we've got to get these nose wires back on. And so this is what that's going to look like. And this is going to connect right up in there into the nose. And then you can also see the nose batten is still hanging off. What most people tend to like to do is do the nose batten as one of the very last things, because you set up your glider like this and then you will do your pre-flight before you go fly. It's incredibly important to make sure that you set everything up appropriately. And if you haven't touched your glider for any amount of time before you go fly it, you want to do a pre-flight as well. So generally you're going to either start and do your pre-flight counterclockwise or clockwise, whatever works for you, but start at a certain area and finish at the same area. So most people tend to do that with the nose, which is why it's great to just put on the nose wires now and the nose batten and the nose cone as you come around and finish. Okay, you probably saw how I pulled down on the keel and kept my foot on the base bar so the glider could be positioned level. That's what helps to get those nose wires on in the end. I'm gonna do the same thing to get the nose batten put onto the little notch that is there up on the nose. So now the nose batten is connected into that little notch. And if I want to right here, I can put on the nose cover as well. And voila, we have now set up a Wills Wing Falcon 4 195. Your next step would be doing a pre-flight. I really hope this video helps you guys. Leave me a comment and let me know if I missed anything or how you do yours differently. Maybe you do yours in a different order. Would love to hear how. Other than that, thanks for watching.